Hello, I am Andy Rosen, and this is Linear Algebra Math 200. Welcome. I'm glad you are joining my class this semester. And I wanted to take just a few minutes to walk you through all the different things you're going to need to know to be successful and to complete this class. So, welcome. The very first thing I want you to notice is this website here, rosenmath.com. So we are going to use two different web resources. Well, technically three different web resources um, this semester. But the first one I want you to go to is rosenmath.com. And in the email that you should have gotten, and I'll talk about that in a minute, there was a link to that as well. So here's what Rosenmath looks like. This is my homepage, and there's a bunch of information. Let me start by saying that I'm actually a full-time high school teacher. I teach at Carlsbad High School. Teaching at Palomar is just kind of a side job, if you will, or whatever. But the point is, I only teach one class at Palomar per semester, and so all the classes I teach are on the left-hand side here. These are all the classes I'm teaching at Carlsbad, and then the various Palomar classes. It just so happens I'm doing a lot of Math 200 lately. Um, but anyway, so you're going to go ahead and click on your class. And so obviously, if you're taking this in the summer, click on the summer. If you're taking it in the fall, then click down here on fall. And when you do that, you're going to come to this page that has all the information you're going to need to know about our class. Now, again, this is the one for the summer class. The one for the fall class will look just like this, except that the dates are different, of course. So make sure you go to the appropriate um, page for the class you're taking. And there's lots and lots of information. And so let me try to break down a lot of stuff. First of all, our textbook. Okay, our textbook is, and it's here at the top, Linear Algebra and its Applications, 4th edition. Now, there are newer editions, and you can use the newer editions if you want to. However, I have made available to you um, a free version of this book, basically, a version you can download. And this is, I didn't do this. I'm just accessing something that a previous instructor had made available. If you click here on My Open Math, you're going to enroll with this course ID right here, 60350, and that is the same for both the summer and the fall classes. You're also going to need an enrollment key. So that's the password that, or the enrollment key that I mentioned in the introductory email that you got. If you did not get an introductory email, please, please, please make sure that you email me right away because you're going to need that. But obviously, because this video is posted on YouTube, I don't want that published to the public. But send me an email and I'll send that to you. But if you click on My Open Math, I'm just going to log in. Oh, I'm already logged in as myself. That's cool. So here's what our class looks like. And so here's our book. So I would say we're really not going to use Open Math at all, or My Open Math, whatever it's called. But my advice is this is where you're going to get your textbook. Go ahead and click on it, save it somewhere. It's just a giant PDF of the whole textbook. That includes the answers in the back of the book, but I also have those back of the book answers here just for easy reference as a separate document. So I would say download both of those, and then you'll probably never come back to My Open Math again. But that's where you're going to get those, and then some other resources that have made available been compiled by a previous instructor, and so I just wanted you guys to have that access to that as well. But really, the main thing here is the textbook and the answers in the back. Okay, so that's My Open Math. So again, here's our schedule. For each class meeting, notice that we have what section we're covering. If there is an exam, and we'll talk about how that works in a few minutes. If there's an exam, it tells you which sections that are being covered on there. Please notice that each scheduled class meeting, if there's an exam, there's also a section listed, but that section is not covered on the exam. The intent, if I was doing this as a live class, I would give the exam at the beginning of the class and then do a lesson on the section after the exam is over. So that's how that's intended to work. So um, please notice for each section, there's also homework listed on the right side. We'll talk about that as well. So anyway, so there's the homework. And then all the class materials. So some of these links are missing, and they're missing just because I haven't made the videos yet. I will soon. But let me go down to the bottom here. Oh, and let me just briefly point out for the very first day, there's the intro video. Again, there's no link because I'm currently making it. You are watching it right now. But that'll be a link. The syllabus, we'll get to the syllabus in just a couple minutes. But then for every lesson, there is let me go down here a little bit. For every lesson, there's a handout, there's a lesson video, and there's an annotated lesson. So all of my lessons are done on PowerPoint. And so what I've done is I've taken those PowerPoints and created PDF versions of that handout. The intent is if you want to, you could print this out and then you could use this to take your notes. So that's why I've done that, just to make note taking a little bit easier for you. Again, if you want to, if not, it's completely up to you. Lesson video, obviously, that's a YouTube video of that lesson. That again, if we were doing live classes, that's the lesson I would have given to you guys. And then during that video, again, all my lessons are PowerPoint. I write on those PowerPoint slides, and then I save that writing here. So this annotated lesson, we click, is also PDF. This is the PDF that has all my writing on it. So that after the lesson is over, obviously after the lesson is over, you can go back and watch the video if you want to, but also you could go back and see all that writing and everything that I've saved on here. So that's what the annotated lesson means. It's the same slides as the handout, but now it's got all that writing on it that I wrote as I was making that video. Anyway, as you can see, each of these has a link, or I'm missing some of the links for the videos. I'll be making those as time goes on, but they'll certainly be ready for you in time to do the to watch to do the lessons. Anyway, okay. I want to just briefly point out during the second lesson, there's this getting ready for distance learning quiz. I will address that in just a minute. But anyway, as you can see, this is, again, we're still on rosenmath.com. This has a lot of information for you, what we're doing every day, when there are exams, and what the homework assignment is. Now let's get to the syllabus. And again, this is the syllabus for the summer class. If you're taking in the fall, it's going to look a little different, but that's okay. Anyway, so we're scheduled to meet Tuesdays and Thursdays from 6 to 9:10 p.m. Obviously, that's not happening. My email address is here. Also, you can email me directly on Canvas, and I'll talk about Canvas in a minute. Also, you can email me directly from the homepage on rosenmath.com. So all of those are options. This is the textbook. I mentioned, again, the 4th edition is the one that I'm making available to you for free. If you have a print version, and I get it, some people don't like the electronic version, and you're willing to pay the money to have the print version, that's great. The 4th edition is fine. If you get the 5th edition, it's basically the same. I think there are newer versions. I don't really know, but just use a little bit of a caution when you're using those newer versions. Maybe compare them to the 4th edition, so that when I assign homework problems, you know that you're doing the same problems that I'm assigning. Class website, we've already talked about this, but basically for every lesson, there's a handout, there's a video, there's annotated notes, and then there's the homework. And let me just point out here briefly, the homework for students, homework is posted for students to practice the material for each lesson and get an idea of what could be asked on tests. So I am not collecting your homework. I'm not asking you to photograph or scan your homework. I'm not checking your homework at all. The homework is intended for you to prepare for tests and quizzes. And that's it. So the homework will not affect your grade at all, but you absolutely want to do it. Obviously, you want to make sure you're ready for tests and not only tests. You want to make sure you understand this stuff so you're better prepared for later courses also. Okay, Canvas. So again, rosenmath.com has a lot of information. Canvas. Now, we're going to use Canvas for a couple of important things. Number one, all class communication will take place within Canvas. So students are encouraged to enable notifications so they don't miss any important information. The introductory email that I sent everybody has been sent in 2 different ways. I sent it as an announcement in Canvas, and so you should have gotten an email from Canvas saying that that there's an announcement for you. But and then I also sent it to everybody through e-services. Okay, or I think it's called My Palomar now. But the point is, I sent it in 2 different ways. However, and this is really important, from now on, all future communication is going to go through Canvas and only through Canvas. So you want to make sure that if you didn't get that notification about that announcement, again, you should be getting should have gotten an email saying, "Hey, there's a new announcement for this class." If you never got that email, go into Canvas right away, enable notifications so that you're getting all those messages. Because from now on, I will not be emailing you directly through my Palomar. Everything will only be sent through Canvas. And so if you're not getting those notifications, you will not be getting the important information from me. I don't send a lot of information, probably not even weekly, but certainly I'll send you reminders as tests are coming up because obviously I can't remind you of those things in class. In addition, all tests will be taken through Canvas. So what's going to happen is you're going to view the test questions in Canvas. You're going to write the answers on your own paper, and then you're going to upload your work into Canvas so that it can be graded. You're welcome to print out the test if you want to. Um, However, you don't have to, and honestly, there's not a lot of space for you to write responses anyway. So you'll probably want to use your own paper anyway. But that's how the tests are going to work. You're going to view the tests on Canvas, and then you're going to write the work on your own paper, and then upload your work so that I can then view it and grade it and mark it up and all the usual stuff. To make sure that we're ready for that, as part of our second class, students will complete the Getting Ready for Distance Learning quiz so that you have a plan for completing the exams when the time comes. There are going to be instructions in this quiz, but basically it's this Getting Ready for Distance Learning quiz. It's not going to affect your grade at all. It is just a way for you to make sure that you know or make sure that you have a plan for uploading your work, for submitting your work, so that when it comes time for tests, you're not sending me an email saying, "Hey, something went wrong. I don't know how to do this. I'm running late." Take the quiz ahead of time so that you know how to do it and so that there's no confusion, no worries when it comes time for the test, when it really does affect your grade. Yeah. Okay, so that's how that's going to work. And again, all the instructions and suggestions for how to upload your work and all that are in that quiz. That quiz is available now. So if you want to just do it right now, you can. As I mentioned, I have it listed for the second class period, or at least that's when it's going to be due. It'll be due. Shoot, I don't remember what I made the due date, but basically on Canvas, it'll have a due date for that assignment. Again, it doesn't affect your work. I just want to make sure it gets done early. Um, but you can do it now. It's available now. Whereas the tests and things are not going to be available. So here's how tests are going to work. Do I have it later? Oh, I have the tests. I'll talk about it a little bit later. Okay, office hours. So I'm going to have regular office hours during our regularly scheduled class. Now, again, this information is about the summer. If you're taking the class in the fall, check on my website and in the on the syllabus for you guys so you can see what the times are going to be. But each Tuesday and Thursday, again, that's because that's when our class is scheduled to meet, is Tuesdays and Thursdays from 6 to 9:10. Each Tuesday and Thursday from 6 to 7 p.m., I'm going to be available in a Zoom meeting. It's a time for students to ask any questions regarding the class, the lesson, or homework, and it is completely optional. If you don't have a question, you don't need to show up. You don't need to worry about showing up because you're afraid there might be an announcement or something. I would not make an announcement during my office hours. If there's an announcement to be made, it would go out as an email to make sure that everybody gets the information. I do not assume people are going to show up to the office hours unless you really have a question to ask. Now, I've had students who showed up to office hours and just hung out and wanted to listen to other people's questions. That's awesome. That's great. Of course, if nobody shows up, then there's nothing to do. But you are very welcome to just come and just hang out, and we can chit chat, whatever. It doesn't matter. But yeah, definitely that is available to you if you have questions. To access that, so the link to the Zoom meeting will be found in Canvas by clicking Zoom, Confer Zoom from the list on the left side. So basically, there's a whole. In fact, you know what? Let me just jump over. This is what our Canvas class looks like. So if you go down to Confer Zoom, oh, and this is the student version, so yours won't have the little pink bar at the bottom. Oh, please notice, by the way, that the Getting Ready for Distance Learning quiz is already there, ready to go. All the other ones, I guess they're listed, but they're not visible yet. Anyway, if you click on the Zoom confer here on the left side, it's going to have our whole list of, well, there's nothing on the list at the moment, but oh, that's right, because this is the kind of a demo version, if you will. Um, when you click Zoom Confer, it's going to bring up a schedule, and on that schedule for each of those office hours, you click on that link, and it'll you can then follow the link to get to the office hours Zoom meeting. So anyway, that's where you're going to find it. I'm pretty sure I just made things more confusing, and I apologize. I'm always available via email if you would like to send questions there. So it's hard to send questions via email, but you're welcome to try, and I will respond the best that I can. Open Math, I already talked about. The enrollment key is in the email that you got from me. It's also in the notification that you're getting as well. So that's there. And then the course ID again is here's this number here. Okay, exams. There will be 3 exams throughout the course, and each exam is worth 100 points. Exam questions are based on the homework as well as examples from the lessons and will not require the use of a calculator. Now, they're all at home tests, so if you end up using a calculator, I can't stop you. But they are all intended to be questions that do not require you to use a calculator. I do not expect anyone to actually use a calculator. Now, here's how exams are going to work. Exams will be made available in Canvas at 7 p.m. on the scheduled date. Okay, so for example, let me go back really quick. We have an exam scheduled for July 9th. Again, this is the summer class, obviously. We have an exam scheduled for July 9th. And so on July 9th at 7 p.m., the exam will be available in Canvas. And it must be turned in no later than 9:30 p.m. on the following day. So if the test is on a Tuesday, then it'll be available on that Tuesday at 7 p.m. and it will be due no later than 9:30 on that Wednesday, on the next day. So you have 26 and a half hours to complete the test. Exams that are turned in late might not receive credit. So don't push your luck. Make sure you get them in on time. But I did give you a full 24 hours because I did not want this to be a class where you had to be at a certain place at a certain time. That was, I think the word is asynchronous. And so by doing that, you can work into your schedule. But I figure 26 and a half hours is plenty of time for you to complete it. The final exam is worth 100 points and will be given on Thursday, August 13th. Also, there's something missing that I'll update this in the next version here, in a newer version that you guys will see. The final exam is required. The final exam is not optional. There was some question about that in the spring class. So I just want to make sure that that's clear that the final exam is required. Everybody needs to take it. Okay, here's the grade scale. Obviously, A, B, C, D, F without pluses or minuses. I do round, but there's only so far you can round. So 89.4 would not round up. Students with disabilities need to notify me during the first week to discuss testing accommodations. So please email me if you have any accommodations that you are allowed to have, and we will discuss how to make that happen. If you feel that you're falling behind in the course, please don't hesitate to approach me with questions. Obviously, approach me by email or whatever. I'm available. Okay, that should not be there. I'm available before and after class to help students who need assistance. Well, normally that's true, but okay, disruptiveness. I don't know how that could possibly happen in this situation, but whatever, it's there. Okay, student learning outcomes. By the end of the course, students will be able to demonstrate understanding of the theoretical foundations of linear algebra, such as vector spaces, inner product spaces, and the eigenvalue problem. May include applications from math, science, and engineering. And solve a linear system using appropriate methods and interpret the results. Yep, so those are the things that you will be able to do by the end of this course. Awesome. Okay, I think that is everything that I need to go over with you guys. So if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to email me. You can come into my first office hours, ask me questions there, whatever you need. I'm happy to be your instructor this semester, even if it's not in person. I certainly hope that I get to know at least a couple of you guys, or over the Zoom calls and all that. I wish you luck. And again, if you have any questions at all about the lessons, anything, please feel free to contact me. Thank you very much and good luck this semester.